Hi, I'm Kirsty Foster, founder and family coach here at Parent Like You. I'm also a qualified and experienced primary school teacher, early childhood teacher, Montessori teacher, and very passionate Rye Pickler educator. So today my talk is about how to talk so your children will listen. And I know this is a big challenge for a lot of parents. They feel like they talking to their children and their children are not listening. So today I'm just going to give you a few strategies that you can try to get your children listening when you start talking. So the very first thing is I always tell all of my clients and families to connect before you correct. So there is absolutely no point talking to your child from another room while you're doing the dishes and they're in the lounge or something like that and expecting them to listen. I know this is unproductive and I know that you're just busy because you've got a lot of stuff to get done as a parent, but if you really want your child to listen, you do need to go into the same room as them and you need to connect with them. So by connect, I mean look at them in the eye, look at their face. They need to see you, they need to see your body language, and they need to see that you're ready to connect with them. Once you've done that, you can consider your body language. Are you sort of leaning down on them and like barking at them? Or do you have open body language? And by open, I mean, are your palms facing up? This is a very open way to have your hands, and it's very non-threatening. And generally, if you do this with your children, they're going to listen a lot more carefully with what you're saying because they feel like you're having a conversation rather than you just barking at them, okay? So have very open body language. So you're down at their level, your palms are facing upwards, and you're ready to have a conversation. So that's connecting. Before you correct or before you try and tell them anything important, you need to connect. Okay, next, it's really important to choose the words that you're using when you're talking to them. I know this is really obvious, but if you're going to like give your children a whole bunch of information or bombard them with big long sentences, they're not going to listen. Okay, so you need to make your sentences very clear and very simplistic. So think about like if you were talking to a toddler. Sometimes that is how you need to talk to your children all the time if you really want them to listen. So just break it down into the main key points. So you might just say, please use gentle hands. Okay? And you ask for some sort of acknowledgement. So if you were to come at them and say, you need to stop hitting because blah, 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 they're probably not going to listen. But if you really want them to listen, you get down to their level, have eye contact, open body language, and say in a very simple sentence what you want them to know. And then it's a good idea to ask for an acknowledgement. Now, it's also really important to have a sentence that's positive in nature. So using the same example, say your child was hitting or was doing something else you don't like. If you go at them and say, don't hit, the last thing they heard was you say hit. So guess what they're going to remember from that sentence? Hit. If you really want them to listen and really want them to remember what you've got to say, think about a positive way you can phrase that sentence and have the thing that you really want them to do last, because that's the thing they're going to remember. So if you want them to stop hitting and use gentle hands, instead of saying don't hit, you say use gentle hands, please. So they remember the gentle hands part. That's what mum or dad wants me to do, use gentle hands. It's really obvious and really simple, but you'll be surprised how many people forget to do this. Okay, and then finally I want to talk about reinforcement. So when your child does something that you like or don't like, you can reinforce these choices either positively or negatively. So if your child is doing something that you do like or that is aligned with your family values or is right in your family, the behavior you expect, then you can encourage this by using positive reinforcement. This can be positive words, this can be high fives, this can be hugs, but it needs to be very specific. So the more specific your positive reinforcement is, so you might say something like, I really like the way you're listening to mum when I'm talking to you, thank you. That's positive reinforcement. If your child hears you say that enough, they'll want to do those things that you ask them to. So they'll want to listen to you really carefully. If they're not listening, you can also use negative reinforcement and say, I don't like that you're not listening to me, so I'm going to come back soon when you're ready to listen. And then you can walk away and come back. You might want to add some other negative consequences depending on your situation. Okay, so to recap, connect before you correct. Use positive body language, so open palms, really smiley, calm face. You can use simple sentences to really emphasize your point and positive language so that they remember the last thing that you said. And you can use positive reinforcement and negative reinforcement to help get your point across. I hope that helps. If you would like some more great tips to help overcome your parenting challenges, then check out parentlikeyou.com.au. There's lots there waiting for you. See you soon.